I hope this sounds right. Urdamodu. Is that right? Yeah? Good, good. Figured I'd learn some Swedish things as I'm here. Excited to be here with you this weekend. Hello, Vemma Europe, and great to be here with you guys in Malmo this weekend. This is my first time in Sweden, so looking forward to spending some time here and off to Gothenburg this week. So really excited to be here, and really for the next few minutes to share with you guys my story, and something that, thinking about today, the theme of this weekend, believe, and really something that thinking back, to believe is something that, throughout my life, I really believe that's the reason that I've been able to have success along the way. And my story, started back when I was young. I live in San Diego, California, and growing up, I played basketball. That was my dream. I wanted to play at university. And after graduating school, I had a scholarship to play at a university in San Diego. But due to a car accident, I wasn't able to play for the university back in 2004, and I did not play that year and never played. So if anybody ever had a dream or a goal and that was taken away, it was very tough to deal with when I was 18 years old. And my dad was really forcing me to get a job or go to school. And I remember talking to him about, I was going to wait for one more year to play maybe basketball the next season, and was not really excited about working a job at the mall or a restaurant. Not that it was bad, but I wanted to make a lot of money. I think from a young age, I always wanted to be successful. I think everybody has always wanted to own their own company, own their own business one day. And so I was 18. And I had an idea to start a business. Back years ago, flat screen TVs, high definition, came out on the market about 6-7 years ago. And so I saw a market. I saw the timing was great to be able to start a business. Well, my market was saving people money off the store prices. We did installation and service. And I got to tell you what, I really believed in what I was doing. Why? Because I honestly, figured that I was saving people money. We did a good service, and my first year out of school made over $100,000 my first year doing that because I really believed in what we were doing and what our company was about. Well, I got out of that business a few years ago because of the markets. Obviously, with the economy going down, people stopped purchasing the expensive flat screen TVs. And obviously, with the real estate dropping, people are not going to put all that money into their homes. So I had to make a change. Again, my basketball dream of playing at the university never happened, and had to make a change to the TV business, and got out of that business 4 years ago to a change of Vemma. And I gotta tell you what, I never really imagined it would get this big so quickly, but it was the best decision I ever made. For me, Vemma started back in 2005. I was introduced to the product from my parents, and I was like these young guys. I didn't really understand what was going on. I was a little hesitant, but I got on the product, and I started to take the product. As an athlete, I loved how I felt, and I saw a big difference in my mom. My mom, similar to the young guy up here earlier, said his parents had good results. My mom had some really serious health problems, and taking the Vemma product, it made a big difference for her. And that really raised my belief. That raised my belief that what BK was doing and the product really was something special. Well, I took the product for 1 year. I had no interest in the business. Obviously, I was doing the TV business at the time. But I went to the events like this weekend. I went to a lot of events like this back home in California. And I saw people's results with the product, how they felt. People were happy. They were excited. And that really raised my belief level. A lot of the credibility came out. In the States, obviously we all know about Dr. Oz recommending the product, Men's Journal magazines, all the studies, all the things that began to come out about Vemma, about the company, really raised my belief that this was a great company and a great opportunity. Well, around 2006, I made a decision. I said, you know what, I see all these people making money. I honestly was having a lot of headaches and frustrations with the television business. And so I started to think about it. I started thinking of people I knew that maybe would like the product, people that I thought maybe would be interested or do well with the business. And yet I did not really make a commitment. I honestly did not make it a priority, and I really got nowhere. So for 2 years, I had a very hard time, a struggle, trying to introduce people to the business because I honestly did not make it a priority. I put little time into the business and got nowhere. Well, around 2008, as I shared, the TV business was slowing down. I had to make a change. I had bills. I had a house payment, things that I knew that if I didn't make a change out of that business, I would be in big trouble. So I sat down with my parents. I said, Dad, I need a plan. I need a game plan on something that I can begin to do every day to make this work. Well, he said, look, Brad, you got to really make this a priority and follow these steps, and I know it'll work for you. So I started to share the product with people. People from basketball, people that I did the TV work for, and a lot of my friends, people I grew up with just in the San Diego, California area. And I started to share it with people, and I could tell you over the last 4 years, I've personally enrolled a little over 100 people. And now that sounds like a lot. If you're here this weekend, if you're very new or you're here for the first time, obviously a lot of people here are excited about the business. But for 4 years, 100 people is not even one a week. So we talk about perspective. You talk about how do you see different things in your life. Well, one person a week is not that difficult, especially if you really like the product. If you thumbs up, you like the product, that's very doable for anybody. Well, around 2008 is when I started doing meetings and calls. Right around half of those people, they're still not even around today. So meaning many of the people that I introduced the product to, or many people that I got excited about the business, they didn't stick with it. Some people fell off, and I had to learn that that's okay. I had to keep going. Well, I can tell you today right around 20 people out of 100 is the reason that today in my group now, well over 10,000 orders of Verve and Vemma ship out every month. As BK said, last year was able to do almost 500,000, and excited that this year will for sure clear $1 million in the Vemma business. And being here today, I'm not here to talk about my story or the money per se. I'm here to explain to you that can happen to you. Obviously you see these young guys excited about the business. Why? They love the product. They're having a lot of fun. They're doing meetings. They're making money. But the difference between them and myself is really one thing. I've been doing it longer. I've talked to more people. And that's really the secret here this weekend. There is no secret to the business. It takes time and effort. And I promise you, if you put the time and effort in and make it a priority, it will work for you as well. Well, 4 years I was able to get to the Star Ambassador level. And was not complaining because I obviously was grateful for the money and for the business. But I was stuck. I was stuck at Star Ambassador for a year and a half. And I started to think, what am I going to do to change? Again, the basketball dreams never happened. This TV business was great. It was a short business. I learned a lot about timing. If you're here this weekend, excited to share with you, obviously, about the young people and what's going on with the timing of that. And now, I remember thinking I had to make a change, and so I started thinking about some young people. Well, I met a young guy about a year ago. This time last year, he goes to a university in Arizona, in America. And I met this young guy for lunch for about 30, 45 minutes. And he was asking me questions about the product. And I was beginning to share with him my story, and tell him about the product and how the business works. Well, this young guy got excited. He got excited, and he honestly, was stuck in a situation because he knew he was going to be graduating the university soon, and he'd have a tough time to find a job. Well, we put a plan together. I showed him the numbers. I showed him exactly what he had to do to reach 1,000 a month, 500 a month, 1,500 a month. And, this young guy really got excited. So we put a list of our friends together that he thought would like the product, that he really thought would like the business. And that was the key. Being here this weekend, hopefully you're thinking of people in Malmo and Gothenburg and Stockholm. Who could you introduce the business to that would actually see this and get excited, that would do well? Well, in about 1 year, he's enrolled 16 people. And in about 1 year now, he has well over 1,500 orders in the business and shipping out every month. He's making about just around €2,000 per week, and he's 21 years old. And so my point to you today is not to talk about him, but to share with you guys that can happen here. Why? His name's Alex, and I promise you there's many people like him here in Sweden, here in Europe as well. Well, the funny thing that I started to think about is why he was having so much success. And the one thing that my dad taught me when I was starting in the business, he said, Brad, if you treat the business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. But if you treat it like $1 million business, it will pay you $1 million. And obviously, as BK shared, I can say humbly that I've made about $2 million in 4 years with the Vemma business. So that's hopefully going to raise your belief level that can happen for you. Why? Because I've been maybe doing the business a little bit longer than you. Maybe I've talked to a lot more people, but I've also gotten a lot more no's than many of the people in this room combined. So again, this weekend I encourage you to have an open mind. Have an open mind, and number one. Number two, be thinking of who could you leave here this weekend? Who could you share this with? What young people are out there looking for ways to make money? Why? Well, I started to think, why does this work for Alex? Why is it working for these young guys here in Sweden? Well, number one, if you start to look at the news, in America, 55% of young people ages 15 to 28 years old are unemployed. So meaning that all the young people here this weekend, if we were in the States, half of the young people here would not have a job. And unfortunately, and BK taught me, he says, when those types of situations are down and those are the things that are happening, it presents a great opportunity for people like us in this kind of a business. Well, that was one issue that I realized is the reason young people are excited. And number two, in America right now, about 60% of students have $25,000 or more in student loans. And that's becoming a big problem, obviously, in the States, and I can see it will probably follow here as well in some way, because it's very frustrating for many young people to graduate. They go to school for 4 years in the States. They spend all the time, all the money, all the effort going to class and doing all those things to graduate and not have a job. And also, many of them, 60%, to be buried or to be down 25, 30,000 U.S. in student loans. And all of us agree when you're young, if you're here tonight and you can remember growing up, it's not the best situation to work a job for 5 or 6 euros an hour. And my point is, it's not bad to have a job. I'm trying to say that this is exciting because why? We're teaching young people how to make money. Goal setting, leadership, personal development. Obviously, here, Darren Hardy here this weekend, an amazing individual that can really, with the compound effect, he talks about many things of why, people become successful. Yet, the key is it all comes down to a choice. And I'm excited, obviously, because, not only is it that the student loans, the job market, working at a restaurant where, 5, 6 euros, 7 euros an hour, do the math. Part-time is not going to pay your bills. So it's forcing young people to have to get off their feet and to look at other opportunities, to look at other situations that might work. And as one of the young guys said up here a few minutes ago, the big thing that I think is the reason why is because people my age, they already spend the monies on these types of products. Every day in the States, I see my friends drink Red Bull, $2, $3. Starbucks, a lot of the girls in America. No, I'm not trying to point out the ladies, but a lot of the ladies like to go have a Starbucks every day. So they spend $3, $4, $5 US dollars a day on these types of products. Yet it's not even good for them. It's just something that obviously is popular. And that's what's exciting about this in the States. It's becoming popular. Why? Right now, in Alex's group, as I shared, he's got around 1,500 young people doing the business, and it's growing every week. Well, we took that same model. We took the model, which I'll share with you a few tips on how to start this for you into your business, and we started to move around. Okay, we started to go into other states, Texas, Arizona, the East Coast, and it's working every time. So whether you're here today and you're a young person, you're at the university, this is a perfect timing for you to dive in, to jump in right now, to begin to build a business. Mark Zuckerberg, Anders did a great job talking today. I got a couple thoughts on some things he was sharing that really made sense. But, Mark Zuckerberg started something in his dorm room while he was at the university. Maybe he didn't really know where that would go, but he started doing something now while he was young. Well, something that BK and I are really excited about. Why? These young people, as early as 16 years old, 17 years old, are doing the business. One young guy I could share with you, Chase Talpin, 16-year-old guy, made $1,100 US in his first week. So think about that. And again, if you're in the universities, This is a great time to build a business like this. Maybe you're not. As BK, I told BK, I said, if you're not a student, you're more experienced. And maybe the experienced people, you could pick up the phone and call your friends that have kids in school. Think about that. You can build a business by getting young people excited around an energy drink that's healthy, teaching young people how to make money. Look at Alex, young guy, 21, graduated university, which again, I agree 100% promote, and encourage young people to go to school, to learn, to keep learning. But at the same time, look at Alex's story from 0 to 100,000 US in 1 year. And I challenge many young people, because how many young people graduate universities today and get that kind of income? So hopefully you follow me and you understand why this is working. A couple things as well. I did some research here in Sweden. Well over 40 plus universities here in Sweden. Lund University has over 47,000 students. Think about that. Think about every year new students coming to the university to study, to learn. What if they could get started in their first year with a product that we all agree, everybody loves the taste, they love how they feel. People have an emotional attachment to the product. Stockholm University, 65,000 students. And the thing when I talked with Alex is, many young people, I was talking to a young guy in the lobby, and he said, what's working? Why is this working? I said, well, we keep it simple. A lot of young people, if you start to share with them about vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, they'll look at you and, I gotta go. Because they're so busy, my dog's dying, my mom's sick, I got school, my girlfriend, I got dinner, I got work. We all are so busy. But when young people stop and step back, and they hear the story, and they see the product, they try the product, they feel the product, many young people, in the States right now, we're seeing right around 80% of young people join the business because they see that this can work. They see young people making it happen. As well, in Gothenburg, 37,000 students at the university, totaling around 150,000 in a population of Sweden of around 10 million, and it's growing every year. And that's why I'm excited for you this weekend. You hear a lot of great stories. Hans and Jessica, you guys are leading the trail over, and where you guys are, and Harry, and so many others. But this is a market, let me tell you, in the States, 4,200 universities in America. On an average of 12,000 students, that's 50 million college kids. And all of them drink energy drinks, they drink soda, they drink Starbucks like it's no tomorrow. So you should get excited this weekend to pick up the phone, to reach out to a friend who has a friend in the university, maybe in the primary, the younger school, 15 with the parent consent, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. I've got a young lady, she's 19 years old. She's got 6 young guys she went to school with into the business. In 6 months has turned into over 400 kids in her group. She'll reach executive this month, and she plans to be presidential by the fall. She's 19. And my challenge to you is if a 19-year-old young lady in America can do that, that can happen for you. She tried the product just like you did. She heard the story. And the key that I think you want to think here is you got to show the young people the numbers. Because when people are young, they're competitive. They want to compete. They want to have fun with the friends. It's like a game. And that's what I knew with the young people, that if they could understand the numbers of what they need to do to get to 500 euro a month, 1,000 euro a month, 55 orders of the products, 35 on one leg, 20 on the other. That's like 4 people get 5 each, 5 people get 7 each, totals about 55, and you're at gold making around 500 euro per month. And here's the one secret that I really realized working with the young people, is many parents would need 2,000, 3,000 euro per month for it to be a big deal. For them to take away time from other things to make Verve and Vemma a priority. But when these young people get to €500 a month in poker, the game poker, they're all in. And they don't stop. Because, Martin Ruff, my good friend, they're here from Holland. I was in Amsterdam doing meetings for 3 days with them. And my young buddy Bass, we were in the center doing meetings at 1 a.m., drinking Verve, meeting with young people at 1 in the morning when Martin sleeps. And my point is, and I love Martin because we're going to do a lot of special things in Holland and in the areas, but my point is these young people will not stop. They get excited and they keep going. And as well, I did some research that in Europe, same amount of universities, right around 4,000 universities or more in Europe, equaling well over 50 million young people that, again, drink these types of products. And the secret is, at the end of the day, is to create success stories. They don't want to know all about the product. They try it. They taste good. It's healthy. I want to make money. What do I do? And as you start to tell the story, my father taught me at a young age. He said, Brad, if you don't have a story, remember this, facts tell you what's in it, but the story is what sells it. And if you don't have a story, use mine. And that's the neat part is there's so many young people here in Sweden. If you're here this weekend, get their phone numbers, team up with them. Partner with somebody that you can work with, because the facts tell you what's in it, the story is what sells it. But if you don't have a story, use someone else's. And my dad taught me this, the one who tells the story the most wins. And I can tell you that if you're ready to tell the story, if you're ready to change, to have a change, as I share with you, I was ready for a change, and I can tell you, hopefully you can understand why this is so important for you to leave this weekend excited about Verve and young people. Because it took me 4 years to reach Star Ambassador, and in 1 year it doubled working with young people. And that can happen for you. So if you feel stuck, if you feel frustrated, I can promise you there are many young people out there that if they try the product, they'll be liking the product. And if you can show them the plan, if you can give them a plan, a game plan of how they can make 500, 1,000 euro a month, they will not sleep till they get to that point. It was great hearing the introduction today. She said, dangerous dreaming. Who wants to do some dangerous dreaming, thinking about how big this can grow in Europe? I am. I'm excited. And I honestly, being here this weekend, challenge you, one, to have faith, to believe in yourself. Because if you can't believe in yourself, my dad taught me, he says, if you can't lead one, you can't lead any. He says, leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. So you got to be able to stand up on your feet and tell your story. And if you don't have a story, use me. I will be continuing to work with BK to put videos together. We'll be doing translations. We'll be doing a lot more to help all of you be able to get young people into your business, to get them going. And the secret is help a young person get to diamond. Because when they reach diamond, it's all downhill. It's easy, it's smooth sailing, and they will have success. And that's why I'm excited, because I've never seen in our industry here today, what we're doing, all of us, any company that, one, has a product that fits that age group, and two, has the ability to do what we're doing. You just saw many young people up here that are making very good money and making this happen. Believe in yourself, believe in young people, and I promise you this is going to be big. Thanks for having me, and I'll stick around after.